Hi, second grade. It's me, Mrs. Zeitler, and I'm going to be reading a book for you today called Amber on the Mountain. This book is written by Toni Johnston, and the paintings are by Robert Duncan. On our dedication page, there's something special. Not only does it say who the author and the illustrator dedicated this book to, but the author also included a really special poem. So let's listen to what it says. It says, "You are gone, away, away. Clouds come flinging down the rain. Comes your letter. You are here, singing with me once again." Toni Johnston. So that can kind of give us a little clue about what this story is going to be about. It says that with the letter, his friend is there again. So let's see what happens in this story. Today we are going to read this story called Amber on the Mountain. Here's Amber here. Amber's mountain is beautiful, but it's also lonely. Until the day that Anna arrives and she brings friendship for Anna and Amber. At the end of reading, you should be able to tell what the character trait is of the main character, and we should also be able to have examples that prove that. I'm going to scooch back a little bit so we can see more of the pictures. Here we go. Amber lived on a mountain so high it poked through the clouds like a needle stuck in down. Trees bristled on it like porcupine quills, and the air made you giddy. It was that clear. Still, for all that soaring beauty, Amber was lonesome, for mountain people live scattered far away from one another. Now, this author uses a lot of beautiful words and a lot of figurative language. One of the main pieces of figurative language that he uses is similes. I would like you to turn to your parents and give a thumbs up if you can remember what a simile is. A simile is when you compare two things using the words like or as. So it's the same thing as a metaphor, except metaphors don't use like or as. And there are a ton just on this page. Here we can see the mountain was so high, it poked through the clouds like a needle stuck in down. So down is a material that can be made to make pillows or comforters. And so they're comparing the mountain to a needle stuck in down because it would be similar to the clouds. There's another one too. We also have trees bristled on it like porcupine quills. So they talked about how the trees poked up just like the quills would on a porcupine. As we read this story, I want you to keep an ear out to see if you can hear any more similes that the author shares with us. Once a man came on horseback to teach the people to read and write. How Amber longed to read and write. That means she really wanted to. Books would be good company, but mountain life was too hard for the man. He left his supplies behind and skedaddled before winter came. Skedaddled means that he ran off in a hurry. Just from that little passage, what is a character trait that you think of for the man if he skedaddled right away when winter came? I know we've been talking about how a lot of our characters have persistence or perseverance. He does not if he left as soon as it got hard. One day, another man came with the crew to build a road. His wife and daughter, Anna, came too. Amber's Granny Cotton told the man straight out, "You can't build a road here. Folks will roll clean off it like walking up a wall." But the man said, "You can do almost anything you fix your mind on." He fixed his mind on building that road. Now, Amber had seen Anna with her family inching their way up the mountain. She wanted to be friends, but Amber was shy. "I will say hey to her when the time is right," Amber thought. Meanwhile, she watched Anna. One day, Amber was watching Anna lay flopped on her stomach in the meadow, reading a book. The sky was streaked with morning, the air was warm, the grass hummed with bees. Suddenly, up jumped Anna shouting, "Once upon a time," and hopping around crazy as a doodlebug. Amber decided the time was right to say hey. So the reason why Amber was so excited was because she saw that she was reading. She saw that the little girl was enjoying a book in the meadow. Now we know what kind of books normally start with "once upon a time." Yeah, fairy tales. So it sounds like Anna was reading fairy tales. "Hey," she called, "are you crazy?" "Sure," Anna called back. Crazy with spring. Hey yourself. What are you shouting? Asked Amber. A story from my book about a princess spinning gold. Might I hold it? Amber asked. Sure. Amber took the book as if it were a fine and breakable cup. She examined the pages. This tells of a princess. Truly? She asked. So she was curious because she's never seen a book like this. Yep. Want to read it? I don't know how, Amber said. There's no school hereabouts. I forgot, said Anna. She stared at Amber. A stubborn look came into her eyes. Ooh, what are you thinking about these two girls who are becoming friends? Tell a parent or a sibling something that you are thinking about. Amber giggled. You look like our mule Rockhead. When old Rockhead looks back at you, he's up to something sure. Well, I am up to something, said Anna. Daddy says you can do almost anything you fix your mind on. I've just fixed mine on teaching you to read. For real and true? Cried Amber. For real and true. Anna began shouting from the book again. Amber joined in. Then they twirled through the grass, crazy as two doodlebugs. Ooh, did you notice a simile on this page? Remember comparing two things using like or as? Here he is comparing twirling through the grass, crazy as two doodlebugs. So he's comparing the girls to two doodlebugs. After that, Anna and Amber stuck to each other like burrs. Burrs are those little prickers that get stuck on you if you walk through the woods or something sometimes. When Amber did her chores, Anna helped. She learned to slop the pigs, milk the goat, and gather eggs. When Granny Cotton needed young eyes to help with her quilting, the girls sat on either side of her, poking little silver needles in and out, in and out. Whatever else they did, every day they practiced reading. Learning to read was like walking up a wall. Amber kept rolling off. These marks are like the chicken tracks in our yard, she moaned. I know for a fact chickens don't write notes to each other. Are you sure that these letters mean something? Certain sure, Amber smiled. Sometimes Amber read a few words, then she stumbled. Sometimes she forgot the words and had to start all over. She was so eager she hurried and tangled the words like quilting thread. Drat, Amber grumbled. I plain can't do this. You can, said Anna. Just pretend you're old Rockhead. Set your whole self to the task. Amber stiffened up mulish as could be. Anna howled with delight. Now that is the face of a reader. Now, I can tell that Amber's getting frustrated, and we've all been that way before. I want you to think of a time when you've been frustrated when you were trying to learn something new. Maybe it's something for a sport, maybe it's something for a specials class, or maybe it was even doing something at home like riding your bike, or maybe helping mom or dad with something around the house. I want you to think of a time when you were frustrated learning something new, and I'd like you to turn and tell somebody that time. And one day, one very fine day, Amber took the book and read. And he stamped his foot through the floor and was never seen again. The end. You did it, hooted Anna. You read all by yourself. I read. The girls marched around, stomping their feet like Rumpelstiltskin. Suddenly, Anna stopped. She stared at Amber. Just what notion have you now, Miss Rockhead? Amber asked. Now I've fixed my mind on teaching you to write, said Anna. Ooh. What kind of character traits do you think would describe Amber? would say persistent because she continued working hard. She did not give up until she learned how to read. So I think that would definitely be a good one. She does not give up easily. And you all know reading is not an easy task. And she did not have school to do it. So I definitely think persistence would be a good one. Or a hard worker, eager to learn. Those are just some different quality traits that make a good learner in school, and it made a good learner for her as well. But that was not to be. The road was finished. Anna and her family were going home. When the day of parting came, each gave the other a gift. Anna gave Amber her book of fairy tales. Amber gave Anna a little clay mule. Then Amber watched her friend down the mountain till she melted into blue mountain mist. So the girls are excited that she had learned to read, but now they wanted to teach her to write, because we know that writing is a way to put out your feelings. And the sad thing is, though, is they didn't get time to do that because it was time for her family to continue on since the road was finished. Months passed. Mountain people went down the road and learned the ease of city ways. City people came up the road and learned the beauty of mountain ways. And funny thing, not one solitary soul rolled off that road. From time to time up on the mountain, Amber got a letter from Anna. Then she glowed with happiness. Anna's words set them side by side again, but Amber was sad too. She missed her friend, and she could not tell her so. But one day she got a notion, a wonderful rock-headed notion. "Attention, attention," she announced to the chickens. "I fixed my mind on learning to write. Soon I'll send Anna a letter frilly as lace, and she'll faint right to the floor." So now she's determined again. She learned how to read, but now she wants to learn how to write. She doesn't have her friend teach her, though, so let's see how she figures it out. The chickens paid no attention. Amber didn't care. She ran straight to Granny Cotton, gibbering her news out before she stopped. Granny chuckled. "Child, child, you're peltering me with words thick as spring rain. I feel drenched." Granny was so pleased, she gave Amber the paper and pencils left behind by the teacher long ago. Whenever she could squeeze in time, Amber took her book and tried to copy the words. "If I can read 'em, I can copy 'em," she thought. At first they looked squat and squashed. "My letters are lopsided as a herd of one-horned cows," she groaned. Amber kept working. There's that determination and persistence again. It's a great quality to have because a lot of things are going to be difficult in the beginning. When it snowed and the world outside was muffled in white, she huddled under a quilt so only her hands poked out. Cold and stiff, she formed her letters. When clouds like gray geese flocked in the sky and rain glazed the land, Amber shivered, but she kept working. Her tongue curled to her upper lip in concentration, like a lizard stalking a bug. She squeezed her pencil nearly to splinters. Her fingers hurt. Still, she kept working. And one day, one very fine day, Amber sent a letter to Anna. "Dear Anna, I am a rockhead too. I fixed my mind on writing. I teached myself to write so's I can write you. I hope you faint to the floor. Love from your friend, Amber." So we can see there, if you look closely, her letter is not written perfectly. She definitely has some spelling errors. She has some grammar errors. But can we understand her message? Yes, and she did that all on her own. She taught herself. Soon, a letter came back. "Dear Rockhead, your letter made me faint right through the floor, like you know who. It made me happy. You are not far away anymore. Love from your friend, Anna." So the reason why she says she's not far away anymore is because now they can talk to each other through the letters. Back then, they didn't have cell phones. They didn't have the internet or computers or Zoom to see each other. They had to rely on their words, writing them down and then reading them. So I want you to tell me how you think Amber is feeling at the end of the story. How do you know she's feeling this way? What lesson does she learn? And how can you apply that lesson of continuing to work hard to your own life? One last thing for you to think about is I want you to think of all of the different words that we said that would describe Amber. And I want you to think of one that you think is resembled the most throughout this story. Now I want you to turn and tell a parent or a sibling what that character trait is, and then I want you to give them 3 reasons why. 3 things that she did that proves that she is a hard worker and does not give up. I hope that you guys enjoyed this book. I'll be back with more later. Bye.